Hi everyone. Today we'll discuss the how to derive the length of a open belt drive and length of a cross belt drive. Length of a open belt drive and length of a two. Exam point of view, these two derivations are more important. Length of a open belt drive and length of a cross belt drive. Actually many things are there, you have to write that one, but simple main important topics are there. What are the how to derive that one we will discuss now. So first one we will go with the, I already draw the diagram here. Derive the length of a open belt drive. If you know one of the belt drive, open belt drive, automatically in the another one is the cross belt drive. In cross belt drive only sign changes will be there, remaining will be same only. If you know one, easily you can go for the another one also. So here what you have to write, before writing this one only what are the important things are there, I wrote here. What you have to write, first you have to write the, this one is the driver pulley, and this one is known as the driven pulley. The driver pulley is designated with the letter O1. The driven pulley is designated. This theory all you have to write in your notes. What you have to write? This one is known as the driver pulley, DRIVER, driver pulley, and this one is known as the DRIVEN, driven pulley. This is driver pulley and this is driven pulley. The center of this one is known as O1. The center of this one is known as O2. The center of this one it is known as O1. The center of this two driven pulley is known as and this one is known as pulley. Whatever the distance from here to here, one center of the pulley to another center of the pulley, it's known as X. Another name is there, apart, is known as X. Another name is there, apart. The distance between these two is known as X. Another name is, what is the another name? Apart. You can call as a X, or another name is apart is there. You can call both also. See, the diameter of this pulley, it is known as D1. The diameter of this pulley, it is known as D1, and the diameter of this pulley, it is known as D2. The diameter of this pulley, it is known as D1. The diameter of this pulley, it is known as D2, and the speed of this pulley, it is known as N1, and the speed of this pulley, it is known as N2. The speed of this pulley, it is known as N2. Diameter of this pulley, it is known as D1. Diameter of this pulley, it is known as D2. The speed of this pulley, it is known as N1. The speed of this pulley, it is known as N2. And whatever the radius is there from center of the pulley to the left side end of the pulley, it is known as R1. And this radius, it is known as R2. This radius, it is known as R2, and between this whatever the distance is there, that distance is known as X. Another name is there, apart, X, or another name is there, what is the another name? Apart. So like this you have to write the pulley. Let us derive the length of a open belt drive. So length of a open belt drive, for that first you have to write this theory. So this one is known as driver, and this one is known as driven. The center of this one is known as O1, and the center of this one is known as O2. The diameter of this one is known as D1. The diameter of a driven pulley, it is known as D2. This one is known as driver, and this one is known as follower or driven. The distance from here to here, it is known as X. Another name is there, apart, and this radius is known as R1, and this radius, as you can see here, and this radius from here to here, whatever the radius is there, that one is known as R2, and this between this, it is known as X, and this one is known as R1, and this one is known as R2. Like this you have to write in theory all that thing. After that you have to write R1 and R2 are the radius of the larger and smaller pulley. This one is known as larger pulley, and this one is known as smaller pulley. This one is known as the larger pulley, and this one is known as the smaller pulley. As exam point of view, these derivations are most important for open belt drive and cross belt drive. So here many things are there in between that, but what are the important keys are there, that one only I am showing you. So please concentrate here. So first what you have to remember, X. X is known as distance between the center of the pulley. This center to this center, whatever the distance is there, that one is known as X. From this center to that center, whatever the distance is there, that one is known as X. After that you have to remember one thing. What is the remember? L is known as total length of the pulley. L is known as the total length of the belt, total length of the belt. How much belt length is there? Starting from here and ending from here, starting from this point and ending from this point. How much length is there? That one is known as L. So first you have to remember sine alpha. Sine alpha is equal to R1 minus R2 by X. You have to by heart this one, or with the help of derivation you will get this one. So better to sine alpha is equal to, remember this one, R1 minus R2 by X. If you consider the JE, if you consider the, this one is J and this one E, if you consider the angle between these two, if you consider the angle between these two, so what is the value? R1 pi by 2 plus alpha, R1 pi by 2 plus alpha. If you consider F and K, if you consider F and K, that side, so here R1 is there, here what will come? R2 pi by 2 minus alpha. This is R1 pi by 2 plus alpha, and this is R2 pi by 2 minus alpha. So first you have to consider for the driver pulley. For driver pulley this equation will be generated. For the driven pulley this equation will be generated. With the help of simplification angles, you can find out the sin theta is equal to sin theta is equal to opposite by hypotenuse, cos theta is equal to adjacent by hypotenuse, and tan theta is equal to opposite by adjacent. With the help of the three formulas, easily you will get the that equation. So better to remember this one. Sin alpha is equal to R1 minus R2 by X, and JE is equal to R1 by pi by 2 plus alpha, and Fk is equal to R2 by pi by 2 minus alpha. This is for JE and this one for Fk. After that, EF also you have to consider. EF also you are E and F you have to consider. What is the formula for under root of x square minus R1 minus R2 whole square? What is the formula? Under root of x square minus R1 minus R2 whole square. So in that what I am doing, this x square is there, inside the root here square is there. If you bring outside, it will become x only. Here inside what is there, square is there. If you bring outside, it will become x only. X under root of 1 minus R1 minus R2 by x whole square. So here x is not there, you took the x as common. So x you have to take under root of 1 minus R1 minus R2 x by whole square. After that, x write down as it is, squaring on both sides. So square root will get cancelled, x minus R1 minus R2 whole square by 2x. So what will come here? 2x. So let it be, this is your equation 1 and this one is your equation 2. This one is your equation 2. Let it be, this one is your equation 2 and this one is your equation 3 and this one is your equation 1. Equation 1, equation 2 and equation 3. How many equation you got? 3 equation. So what you have to do? You have to add here equation 1 plus equation 2 plus equation 3. Equation 1 plus equation 2 plus equation 3. 2, why I am considering here 2? By taking the 2 side. So after that, L is equal to 2, write down as it is. This R1 will be multiplication of this one as well as this one. So here I can write pi by 2 R1 plus alpha R1. X write down as it is, minus write down as it is, R1 minus R2 whole square by, this is 2x. 2x also write down as it is. Then write down here plus, here you can write pi by 2 R2 minus alpha by R2, alpha by R2. Remaining terms are as it is only. Here R1 into pi by 2, then R1 into alpha. Next one is R2 into pi by 2. Next one is R2 into alpha. Then after that, what you have to do, bring the all terms at one side. Okay, now bring all pi 2. Here pi by 2 is there and here pi by 2 is there. So L write down as it is, 2 write down as it is, pi by 2 R1 plus pi by 2 R2, right? Then here plus write down as it is alpha 1, then minus alpha, this is alpha 2, then plus x write down as it is, minus here R1 minus R2 by square by 2x. So what you have to do? First, this is pi by 2 and this pi by 2. Both the terms you have to write at this side. Then alpha R1 and here what is there? Minus alpha R2. So here alpha R1 minus alpha R2, then x write down as it is, this term write down as it is. After that L is equal to 2. Here you can take the pi by 2 common. If you take pi by 2 common, the answer will be R1 plus R2. Here you can take the alpha common. If you take alpha common, R1 minus R2, then x as it is. Here you can write R1 minus R2 whole square by 2x, R1 minus R2 whole square by 2x. Like this you can expand. First what you have to take common? Pi by 2. Then you have to take the common alpha. First one is the pi by 2, second one is the alpha. Okay, after getting this one, what you have to do in place of alpha, as you can see here, here alpha is there. What is there here? Alpha. I wrote here sin alpha. What is the sin alpha? Sin alpha is equal to R1 minus R2 by x. So alpha is also equal to R1 minus R2 by x. In place of alpha you can write R1 minus R2 by x. So L write down as it is, 2 write down as it is, pi by 2 write down as it is, R1 plus R2 plus, in place of alpha what you have to write? R1 minus R2 by x, write down as it is. What is this one? R1 minus R2 plus x minus, here R1 minus R2 by 2x, this is whole square. Okay, now here till here square is there, till here what is there? Square is there. L is equal to pi by 2 R1 plus R2 plus R1 minus R2 x by R1 minus R2 plus x minus R1 minus R2 whole square by 2x. Next step, L write down as it is, 2 write down as it is, pi by 2 also write down as it is, R1 plus R2 also write down as it is. Here you can write R1 minus R2 whole square by x. Here R1 minus R2 and here also R1 minus R2. So R1 minus R2 whole square by x, plus write down as it is x minus R1 minus R2 whole square by, this is the 2x. This one is the 2x. Next step, you have this 2 is there. This 2 you have to multiply inside with this term, with this term, with this term and with this term. ठीक है ना? Next L is equal to, if you multiply 2 here, so it will become 2 pi by 2. Here R1 plus R2, write down as it is. Here 2 into R1 minus R2 whole square by, here x is there, plus 2 into, next 2 into R1 minus R2 whole square by 2 into x. This 2 will get cancelled. This 2 will get cancel. Then n is equal to, what is this? Pi R1 plus, this is R2 plus 2 into R1 minus R2 whole square by x. Write down here, plus this is 2x minus R1 minus R2 whole square by x. This one as it is. If you focus on this, as you can see here, here plus 2 is there and here minus 1 is there. Here plus 2 is there and here minus 1 is there. So in place of that you can write L is equal to pi R1 plus R2, R1 plus R2. The next step, plus 2 minus 1, plus 2 minus 1 is equal to plus 1 only. So here you can write plus R1 minus R2 whole square by x. Then next plus 2x you can write on as it is. In place of this one and this one, plus 2 and minus 1, R1 minus R2 whole square by x, R1 minus R2 whole square by x. So this is the length of a open belt drive. This one is the length of a open belt drive. This R1 and R2 can be converted into D1 and D2 also. This, how to convert this one? L is equal to pi. Here you can write D1 by 2 plus D2 by 2, D1 plus 2 by D2 plus 2. Here you can write D1 by 2 plus minus, what you have to write here, minus D2 by 2 whole square by x, plus write down 2x is as it is only, 2x is as it is. Then L is equal to pi by 2. Here you can write D1 plus D2 plus, here d1 minus d2 whole square by 2 to the 4x. What you have to write? 4x into 2x. Now this one in terms of radius, in terms of radius, radius, and this one in terms of diameter, diameter for length of the open belt drive and length of the cross belt drive. This one is the derivation for the length of a open belt drive. Derive the length of a open belt drive. Two pulleys are given. These things you have to remember. After that, simplification is there. After that, what is there? Simplification is there. If you solve that one, you will get the easily length of a open belt drive, pi by 2 d1 plus d2 by d1 minus d2 whole square by 4x plus 2x. This is the length of a open belt drive, length of a open belt drive. Now same derivation is there, nothing I am changing here, only the need is to change the diagram, derive the length of a cross belt drive. Next one is the length of a cross belt drive. See, this one is known as the open belt drive, this one is known as the open belt drive. See, this one is known as the open belt drive. As you can see, this one is the driver, this one is the driven, and belt will come like this and it will go like this. This is the center of the belt. So this one is known as open belt drive. This one is known as open belt drive. If you consider this one and if you consider this one, like this will come and like this will go. So this one is known as the cross, CROSSED, cross, BELT, belt, DRIVE, drive. This one is known as the, so first one is known as the open belt drive, the second one is known as the cross belt drive. If you know the open belt drive, easily you can solve the cross belt drive also. If you know the open belt drive, easily you can go for the cross belt drive. So what is the difference between open belt drive and cross belt drive? Open belt drive and cross belt drive. As you can see here, derive the length of a cross belt drive. If cross belt drive is there, this one is known as the, first you have to write the theory. Same theory you can write what you wrote in the open belt drive, same theory is there, only the difference is there in that diagram. What is the difference in that diagram is there? So this one is known as the driver and this one is known as the driven, and this one is known as the tight side and this one is known as the slack side, and this one is known as the O1 and this one is known as the O2. Center of the pulley 1 is known as O1, center of the pulley 2 is known as O2, center of the pulley 1 is known as O1, center of the pulley 2 is known as O2, and here whatever the angle is getting, that one is known as G and this one is known as E and this one is known as F and this one is known as K. Here how it is rotating clockwise and this one is also rotating clockwise. Whatever the distance is there between these two pulleys, that one is known as X. Center of this pulley to the center of this pulley, it is known as X. The radius is known as this one R1. The radius of this one is known as R2. The radius of this one is known as R1. The radius of this one is known as R2. The radius of this one is known as R1. The radius of this one is known as, this one is known as the driver and this one is known as the driver pulley, and this one is known as the driven pulley. So what you have to do, R1, R2. R1 and R2 is the radius of the larger and smaller pulley. Same thing you have to write. X is known as the distance between the center of the pulley. L is known as the total length of the belt. L is known as the total length of the belt. So what you have to do, sin alpha is equal to R1 plus, what you have to take here, R1 plus R2 by X. What you have to write here, sin alpha is equal to R1 plus R2 by X. Here arc JE you have to consider as plus and arc AF is also you have to consider as plus. Here also plus is there and here also plus is there, here also plus is there and here also plus, and in between that here also plus and here also plus and here also plus. You have to remember, in cross everything as it is, here plus is there, here plus is there and here plus is there. After that what you have to do, L is equal to 2 into equation 1 plus equation 2 plus equation 3. This is equation 1 and this is equation 2 and this one is the equation 3. This is equation 1, this is equation 2 and this is equation 3. So equation 1 plus equation 2 plus equation 3. So I wrote here equation 1 and this one is my equation 2 plus and this one is my equation 3 plus. Okay, now you have to change the sign in cross belt drive. You have to change the sign. So here I wrote the plus and here also I wrote the plus. After that, this R1 you have to multiply with this term and this R1 you have to multiply with alpha. Here also this R2 you have to multiply with this term and this R2 you have to multiply with this term till you got here. Here pi by 2 is there and here also pi by 2 is there. Bring both the pi by 2 at one side and here alpha term is there and here alpha term is there. Bring the alpha term at one side and whatever the remaining term, this is the remaining term you can write down here as it is with a sign of plus, if you can observe here, if you observe here, what is here pi by 2 is there in here pi by 2 is there. Can you take the pi by 2 common? If you took the pi by 2 common, so this is R1 and this one is the R2. If you observe here, here R1 is there and here R2 is there. Take this one is as it is. Then sin alpha is equal to, next one is the sin alpha is equal to, what is the next one? Sin alpha is equal to R1 plus R2 by X. From where you got? From here you got sin alpha is equal to R1 plus R2 by X. Sin alpha is equal to R1 plus R2 by X. So here you wrote sin alpha is equal to R1 plus R2 by X. So alpha also equal to R1 plus R2. Alpha is also equal to R1 plus R2 by X. Next, after getting that things, what you have to do, next one is the same, this one write down as it is, 2 write down as it is, pi by 2 R1 plus R2 plus, then here this term, see here, in place of alpha you can write R1 plus R2 by X. So here you can write R1 plus R2 by X. Here you can write R1 plus R2 by X. Previously it is minus for cross belt drive, plus for open belt drive, sorry, minus for open belt drive, plus for cross belt drive. Okay, so here this one also plus will come, here also plus will come and here also plus will come, and this X is as it is and this term is also as it is. After 2 write down as it is, pi by 2 write down as it is, R1 plus R2 write down as it is, plus write down as it is. Here you can write R1 plus R2, R1 plus R2, R1 plus R2 whole square, X write down as it is, plus write down as it is, X write down as it is, minus R1 minus R2 whole square by 2x, R1 minus R2 whole square by 2x. Then this 2 multiply with this term, this 2 multiply with this term, this 2 multiply with this term and the 2 this multiply with this term. Totally 1, 2, 3, 4 terms are there. So here also you have to multiply, here also you have to multiply, here also you have to multiply and here also you have to multiply. After multiplication, what this 2 will get cancelled. Here also 2 will get cancelled. This term is as it is, pi R1 plus R2 plus 2 R1 minus R2 whole square by X. This 2x is as it is and this one is also as it is. But the thing is that here it will come plus, here also it will come plus, this is also plus, this one is also plus, this one is also plus, and here also plus, here also plus, here also plus. Wherever you are getting minus, that one you have to convert it into plus. In which belt drive? Cross belt drive. Suppose it is open belt drive, no need to change here. So this one in terms of radius, this one in terms of radius. So in place of R1 you can write D1 by 2, in place of R2 you can write D2 by 2. Here also in place of R1 D1 by 2, in place of R2 D2 by 2. So here 2 to 4, here 2 to 4, 2 to the 4. So here you will get 4 outside. So in terms of diameter, if you want to find out in terms of diameter, and this one in terms of radius. So if you know the open belt drive, easily you can go for the cross belt drive. The difference between these two is, it's simple only. Whenever the open is there, you have to go like this. Whenever the cross is there, you have to go for like this.